Alrighty. Welcome to the BNR Racing Network as we head to race number 7 at Dover. Let me go over the race information here, and then Will can give you the thorough, awesome history of Dover. So as you see here, we are in Dover, Delaware. It's a 1 mile track. Current track temp will hit 120 degrees. Yeah, it is 80 degrees out, 61% humidity, clear skies, 4 mile per hour wind. 150 laps, 150 miles, 80% fuel, 4 sets of tires, 1 quick fix, and 3 attempts at a GWC.
Yes, indeed, Brian. 3 attempts at a green white checkered that we may actually get to see here tonight. So, Dover International Speedway, or, Delaware International, whatever you were accustomed to calling it, right? Dover Downs International Speedway. Anywho, it was originally a horse track, right? So then the horse track got turned into a paved banking. Some would call this a short track. It's only a mile, right? But others call it a speedway. So that the name suggests, right? Dover Motor Speedway. So 1969 was the first year that NASCAR held a Cup Series race here, including each race, including the 2-year 1971 and 2020. There was if I'm not mistaken, the oil embargo from 1971, and then of course the thing that happened in 2020 that we can't always talk about, Brian. Anyway, the Indy Racing League raced here for several years. This is a 24 degree, that's easy for me to say, 24 degrees of banking in the corners in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 9 degrees of banking down the back and front straightaways. So you're always elevated here, Brian. You almost always feel like you're always going to fall out of the seat, and that is always great to feel from a racing point of view. It truly is. Now, so everything, like anything stock car wise, ARC is raced here, the trucks is raced here, Xfinity's raced here, Indy Racing League, USAC Champ Car. So USAC came here in 1969. So Dover Downs here, like we said, there was originally a horse track, then turned into this what we call, the Monster Mile, the high banked track here. Like we talked about, 24 degrees of banking. That bottom line's probably going to be the predominant line, if not the middle line here tonight, Brian. And this track used to be asphalt. It was asphalt for about the same amount of time Bristol was. Bristol was asphalt as well. Then they decided to get a wild hair and change it to concrete, which concrete sometimes can be just a bit slicker than pavement, regular asphalt pavement, depending on how hot it is. And like what Brian said at the top of the show, with the weather and track conditions, it's about 120 degrees, if not over 120 degree track temp. That being a concrete track, that means that the tires are probably going to heat up a little bit faster than what they normally would on this surface here this evening, it being concrete like we talked about. And the transition from coming, like we might get to see if we have long green flag running, that transition from the concrete to the asphalt apron could catch some drivers out. You could see speeding penalties tonight. You could just see mistakes getting on pit road, or even getting onto your pit box because the asphalt to concrete transition into your pit box here tonight. So, Brian, you have the starting grid.
Yes, sir. Starting P1 would be Sammy Archibald, P2 would be JD O'Brien, P3 would be Chris Cornett, P4 would be Troy Daggett, P5 would be Caleb Selner, P6 would be Matthew Huntsaker, P7 would be Chris Stang, P8 would be Jason Higginbotham, P9 would be George Rincon, P10 would be Michael Kelly, P11 would be Pete Woodrum, P12 would be Ron Hunter, P13 would be Tyler Myers, P14 would be Jason Pearson, P15 would be Robert Amaral, P16 would be Anthony Line, P17 would be Joshua Highball, P18 would be Aaron Bradford, P19 would be Christopher Campbell, P20 would be Joe Stipe, P21 would be Brandon Moore, P22 would be Justin Steves, P23 would be Jaden Sanchez, P24 would be William Roberts, P25 would be Andrew Clue, P26 would be Ernest King, and P27 would be Chris Camary.
Yes, Brian, one of my other doppelgangers is here this evening. Teammates to Ernie, I do believe, or our associate teammates with Ernie, something to that effect. Anywho, Dover, Delaware, Dover Downs here. We use, well, no, not me and you, but Brian, NASCAR used to run 500-mile event races here. Here, Pocono, Atlanta, Texas, Anyway, those were the good old days. 500-mile races. I miss them. Anyway, but Dover now, only runs 400-mile events when the Cup Series decides to go there. Only now once a year trip up to Dover. I don't think the trucks come here anymore. At least
No,
not
don't.
this year. Yes, we were talking about that the other day. But
So, real quick, the only penalties
Yes, sir.
that have to be served tonight is Ernest King and the 15 of Chris. Those drivers do have to do a drive-through, so if you guys wonder why they're in the pits early on, that is why.
Kenny Remlin holds the qualifying record here back in 2019. Kyle Larson holds the 400-mile distance race record, and Bill Elliott holds the 500-mile distance race record from 1990, if anyone cared. That is in the Cup Series. Truck Series, Brett Moffitt from 2019 holds the qualifying record,
Boy,
and
this
Mark
is a
Martin
big
holds
field.
It is.
It's gonna
Mark
be-
Martin has the race record from 2006.
These drivers already know about getting on them restarts. Don't mash the throttle down, because you will have tire spin. See there, nice and easy, just like that. There's the stack up.
Oh, Ryan Truex actually holds the Xfinity qualifying record here. Anywho, pretty decent start. Oh, we're 3 wide for a moment, a little bit further back. Hopefully they can get that sorted out. You don't want to stay 3 wide around here too long, because once it'll funnel out quickly, and maybe be some pinballing going on. Justin Steves, I believe that's Justin, right, in the 24 truck. He is having some type of problem early on.
No, that's Ernie.
Oh, yes, that is Ernie. My apologies. Justin drives the 24 in the Cup Series, so my apologies, Ernie. Like you talked about, Ernie has a penalty, serving the penalty here. So hopefully he can catch a lucky caution early on and not have to be trapped down a lap down for too long. As we see here, George Rincon really trying to make some hay on the outside/middle lane. Like I talked about, you might see some drivers venturing up there, almost going all the way upstairs too. It doesn't look like it's a new track, Brian. Looks like the rubber's still laid there from practice, or just could be the way it looks in iRacing.
No, the rubber's still up there.
Okay. Not all the settings saved, like I guess you were talking about, or something to that effect,
I normally keep the rubber out on track.
Oh, okay, 10-4.
Yeah, Rincon,
I couldn't remember if you did that or. Oh yeah. some of these drivers race in multiple leagues throughout the season. Sometimes they are on the same conflicting night, which Brian, racing for so many years, you want to race with everybody you can, right? So.
Oh yeah. Fortunately for Caleb, he got in that scuffage there with the 21 on the restart there. So.
Initial start.
Yeah, that's right. 6 at 150 in the books. Now 7.
Already 6 laps down.
A mile track. Yeah, I consider it. I don't know. Is it a intermediate short track or? Because it's not exactly a mile and a half, so it'd be a short track. So yeah, it's a short track.
Well, some people consider mile tracks intermediates for some reason. I don't understand how that. I was always taught or led to believe that mile tracks, if it's anything under a mile and a third or a mile and a half, it's considered a short track. So Phoenix, New Hampshire, Dover, Milwaukee Mile, anything else that you could think of that falls under that category of not being as big as Darlington or Gateway. What's the other track like Gateway? Good point. Anyway.
This is 3rd through 12th.
Oh, yeah. Already seeing here, looking like somebody might have laid the bumper to, who is that in the, I guess that was Hunsaker. Yes, it was Hunsaker.
It's good to have Higginbotham back.
Now, we do have to remember, Brian, and everybody watching at home, that these trucks are on a fixed setup. It is not like the open setup on Saturday night, so that the Cup drivers get to play with. That everybody's on their own setup. So for the most part, right? If not, they just gotta wing it with the fixed if they attempt to. But everybody's on a fixed setup, so for the most part, like we've talked about in the past, you just have to adjust your steering rack and brake bias, and that ain't really much whenever it comes to adjusting stuff. Oh man, close racing there, coming out of turn number 2 between George and I'll get to see that person in a second. Their number is very smudgy on the roof, but
oh, that's Caleb, which is the 199.
Oh, Caleb's there. Yep.
That one he said he had a draw on. Oh,
yeah, he was talking about me, or telling me about that paint scheme, and I'm just like, I said something about it at COTA. He's like, yeah, you did, and I'm just like, okay, if you say I did, I did. I call way too many races nowadays to remember what happened at COTA so weeks ago,
Oh boy, is that going to be a caution? Yes, it is.
No, J.D. O'Brien is gonna. Did he get bumped coming onto the straightaway here? What happens? Oh, he kind of comes down across the nose of Roberts there.
Does he watch
I just. Like I talked about at the top of the show, Brian, you always feel like you are always elevated here at Dover, and the racing line goes to the wall in these stock cars. So he's trying not to hit the wall. He's actually a good half a lane from it, and he just, like I said, he just mistakenly comes down across Roberts' front bumper there, and this track is very bumpy too, so he could have hit one of those bumps just out of turn number 2. If I'm not mistaken, turn number 2, there's a tunnel there. I think that's where the tunnel is for Dover, right, Brian? Or is it right here? I'm trying to remember. I think it's turn 2, right, where the tunnel is at Dover. So.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. I think you're right. You got a fit. A fit. You got a few pit road takers early on, maybe topping off with some fuel.
Lucky break for JD. You get a fast repair in the BNR Truck Series here on Tuesday, so not so lucky during the other days of the week, but on Tuesdays you have a fast repair, right, Brian? So
Yes, sir.
maybe JD can find the speed that he had and be back through the field momentarily, right? So JP here. Where's JP? JP here.
Yeah, he is.
All right, let's grab JP.
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 Yo, yo, yo.
All right, so we had about almost a 15-lap run there. Not quite a long run by no means, but almost a medium run, kind of. It was still a short run. How can you assess the truck handling so far, early days in the race, JP?
Yeah, it seemed like everybody's trying to hug the bottom for right now, but I think it's kind of moving up as the race goes. But yeah, you can really tell after about 10, 11 laps there, you can tell people started getting loose coming out of the exit, especially in 4. So I just hope people understand we only got a certain amount of tires here tonight, so better conserve what you got.
Yes, running the distance of an ARCA race here, 150 miles or 150 laps, being a mile track here at Dover. So, that old saying, what goes up must come down. So you always have to be mindful of what's happening in front of you, right? But also what's around you, right, JP? So just kind of riding it out like always, and then just hoping to be there at the end, right, JP?
That's right. That's the game plan.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us. Next week's going to be Kansas. It's a mile and a half next week. So, always looking forward to maybe taking Toto with you and going to Kansas, right?
Yeah, let's try to make it out of here alive first.
Exactly. Got to get away from Miles first. So, best of luck to you, JP.
Thank you, sir. Oof, oof, oof.
All right, big dog.
Oof, oof.
Good old JP. He's a good guy. He's got a good humor behind him. I like JP.
Indeed.
He does. Very good. He's a good guy. So, well, they will be coming back to green.
And in doing so, Sammy Archibald leads this race with Troy Daggett in second. Higgy is in third position in the 44 machine.
Well, I haven't said that in a long time. Oh, Higgy.
I know, right? It's been a fresh minute. We got Stain in fourth position. Whether you want to call it Chris Cornett or Matthew Huntsaker, they are in fifth and sixth position. I did that for the first time in a while. Caleb Sellner is, like you mentioned, in the 199 in seventh position. William Roberts is in eighth, no kin or relation to me, hopefully. Kelly is in ninth position, and rounding out the top 10 is Pete Woodrum.
No, it's Pearson.
Jason Pearson that we yeah, they're getting doubled up. Like we talked to, Pearson is 10th, 11th, Woodrum 11th, like you said, however you would like to call it. So,
Let's see if they
gonna
can
get the restart. Yep. Dover is very tricky, just like what we had with Bristol in the Cup Series on Saturday. Very much will slippage. You could easily slip the tires here, especially restarting coming up out of a corner. Everybody got to be mindful of that. You normally see the outside lane getting better traction, better momentum on the restarts. JP still in the pits. I figured he would have used his fast repair, Brian.
I would have figured too, unless he's saving.
Yeah, that could be a possibility. He may be expecting more trouble to come.
So Caleb falling to 10th. As Daggett takes the lead from Samuel Archibald. You see Matt getting past. Trapped up on the outside lane there. You know how treacherous that the outside lane can be here at Dover.
Yeah, especially if that outside's not rubbered in, or it just can't get, if it can't come in during the race, you're just kind of stuck watching the conveyor belt of vehicles go by you on the inside, just as if it was Martinsville or even Bristol. Any type of place where it's mainly dominated by a one groove lane. Yeah, Archibald fell down 3 positions, down into 4th position. He lost a few from being in the lead, so that restart did not help him one bit. The 72 Estain is in 2nd. Chris Cornett now in 3rd. William Roberts is in 5th position.
It's good to see your brother out there.
Well, yeah, there's a few of them on iRacing, I'll tell you what.
Who would have thought William Roberts is a popular name?
Oh, I never would have thought it, but, oh well.
You see here, they have a unique entry into the turns. A lot of them do. Others, just depends. Same line as normal. They love the bottom. But Will, you know and I know that turn 2, the exit at turn 2, and then the exit at turn 4, that can bite you if you don't hit your marks right.
You're seeing a lot of these drivers, Brian, diamonding the corners, and diamonding the corners is basically the opposite of arcing the corners, or not arcing, but like hitting the center apex. So
Yes, sir, indeed.
But yes, like you talk about, the exits of the corners, it's almost like racing at a miniature Atlanta, or like a miniature Homestead, or like a miniature Texas, because the same problems that you can occur at those tracks that I just listed, you can have them here, where you're either going to be snappy off the corner or tight on corner exit, and then there's almost no controlling it. You just got to let it happen. The truck's going to probably crash, and it's going to be all she wrote. But tight racing here, this is for, what position is that? Well, yes, I was about to say, that is Archibald. I thought it was the 72 for a moment. Oh my goodness, that was Roberts, I do believe, smacking the wall. No, it was not Roberts. That is Kelly in the 48.
Oh, there's Archibald. Hit the wall there.
Yep, coming out of turn number 4. Like we talk about, these trucks now starting to get tight. We've had a heat cycle for the most part on some of these trucks. So, like he talked about, some decided to come in and pit. Some did not. A good portion of the field decided not to. So, and some of these trucks that were... What happened? I missed it? Oh, yes, I did miss it. I'm looking at it now. That is definitely, understandably, should be a caution, but it's not a caution. Thank goodness I'm not a race director, and none of these leagues I call, they would hate me, Brian, but I don't know if they would hate me or love me. Some of them would love me, but others would definitely hate me. I feel like I'd be a good race director.
Another 1-5 studio broadcast truck. Good to have the teammates out here, which they do sit first. They sit in first,
15th and 20th.
A good drive back from Chris, I must say.
Yeah, I think the early caution on helped Chris. Both Camary and Ernest King were one lap down, and I believe Camary got the lucky dog, so that has helped him, I do believe. And Camary's gained at least 10 spots or so from this restart. So he is trying to make his way downtown.
Yes, he is. Pick them off one by one, and we get up there.
But could he be burning his tires up a bit too early by doing so? Only time will tell. So, let me see here. Looking down the board. Trying to find Jaden. What happened to Jaden? I thought he was up in the top 10.
He is. He's fourth.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Trying to find everybody's number I'm used to for a couple of days and then come back on Tuesdays and it's like everybody's in a different number. But I just love it. It's great. So, 34 laps into this race, and it's been pretty mild-mannered for the most part. There's been 2 incidences for 1 caution, and that second caution, iRacing was just like, nah, it's okay. They're up in the wall. Don't worry about it. They're going to the casino. So,
Yes,
Troy Daggett
does sit on that backstretch there.
Yep. 35 laps into this race, and Troy Daggett has a 2.5, might as well say, lead over Stange. Whatever. In the 72. Okay. Yes. Yeah. You just get too frustrated sometimes, and you're like, I'll deal with it later. We'll do it live. Oh wait, we are live. Anyway, so William Roberts, I guess this is William. Will is on Mondays, so William Roberts here in the 40 in 3rd position there. So Jaden now still in that 4th position. He's trying to fend off Higgy in the 44. So, and Caleb is fending off Kelly. Joe Stipe is sitting comfortable in 8th position at the moment, but Brandon Moore has made it into the top 10, and he is sitting in 9th position, running up to Joe Stipe, as Joe Stipe has ran down Kelly.
Well, they're exchanging positions.
Oh yeah, they are. And that is for 4th and 5th position. Iggy really working that inside. He got a window of opportunity, and he really worked it on the inside of Jaden.
Yep. Jaden's probably like, you know what? I'm just gonna let you go. I'm not gonna burn my stuff up so fast. You can have it. .41 of 150 in the books. Only 1 caution at the moment. This is the battle for, and I missed it again. 16th with Christopher Campbell and the 81.
Something happened to the 30 truck of Hunter, the third 1-5 Studios machine, so not 100% sure what happened to the 30. He is in the pits right now, going multiple laps down. So,
for the most part,
Ernie,
they're
Go
calm.
ahead.
They're very calm for the most part.
Oh yeah, this is a calm Dover race for sure. I was talking to some of the drivers before the start, Brian. I was down there in the pit/garage area in the paddock, and just some drivers were saying, "Man, I just feel like we're going to be I-pacing instead of I-racing tonight." I feel like it's going to be some cautions, but at the moment, only 1 caution for 41 laps of asking at the moment, so it's not all that bad at the moment. I don't feel like. It could be a lot worse. Dover is a very tricky mile track here, so.
Oh yeah, but they're doing
Higgy
good.
getting past Roberts for 3rd.
Oh, my bad. We should have been focusing on that.
No, you're good. I didn't. I was focused on the action on the track that we were witnessing, so all good in the hood. Troy Daggett just over a 2-second lead over Stain. Jaden, like we talked about, documented falling back to the 5th position. Caleb Sellner still comfortably in 6th. Everybody, like we talked about, still in the top 10 as we were talking about them earlier. So not too much of movement going on there. As Sanchez, I believe, is getting to Roberts. Hunsaker falls down. No, he was already in ninth. So exchanges going on a little bit further back. 15th on back, possibly. No, 18th on down. My apologies, Brian. So yeah, Troy's lead keeps fluctuating from 2 seconds on up to just over 2 1/4, but I think Stain might have hit a wall because he lost 2 more tenths on that lap. So whenever you scrape the wall or have to check up a little bit more than normal here at Dover, you will lose at least a tenth, maybe a half a tenth, couple of tenths. Whenever you bang the wall, you're going to lose at least a half a second to almost a second.
I thought another caution came out, but nope. Jason's pitting. Scared me for a moment. I'm like, uh-oh.
Well, I got told 64 laps. So, not sure why Jason's bringing it down at lap 45 of asking. You know, the first pit window.
Tires. Could be tires.
Could be tires.
They won't make 60 laps on tires.
Yeah, good point, Brian. Good point.
We got a few good followers over here on Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning on in. Twitch, awesome to have you guys. And YouTube, you know. Always good to have you guys out here tuning in to the BNR Racing Network broadcast here with me and Will. To give you guys the best entertainment that we can. Sometimes we do some specific quotes, but it just all depends on when it does happen. Anyway, Will, 100 laps to go for these drivers. You see a few drivers are pitting. So. Yeah,
like we just talked about. Oh, someone's got a Macho Man Randy or Randy
Aaron
Savage.
Bafford. That was the one he was hoping that he ran last week, but.
Okay. Snap into a Slim Jim.
Ooh, yeah. Over there racing with Chris Camary there in the 15.
Stang has brought his 72 machine down pit road. Yes, indeed. That's a fierce battle going on for 14th. Campbell has driven away from them for about 5 truck lengths now. But now the 72 has brought his truck in and pitted. So Clue is in as well in the 47. So Troy Daggett had opened up about a 2.5. Oh, Campbell kissed the wall coming out of turn number 4.
Caution number 2.
Oh, man. That's a huge crash. That's going to be Camary, Robert Amaral. That's J.D. O'Brien, and I believe Bradford involved as well. Well, Camary's crabbing. J.D. just repaired his truck, and oh man, Bradford. We're going to have to rewind this a little bit more there, Brian, just to maybe Bradford just got a bit tight and it just didn't want to turn.
I'm trying to get the best camera angle. There we go.
Camary got a bit snappy off a corner exit, and that allowed Bradford to get a run on him. But what transpires going into turn number 3, is just, man, oh man, just hard racing ensues here. Camary's gonna get, he's all the way already up in the high lane, and I just think Bradford just was carrying a bit, just a bit, really good speed just into the corner. Kind of, I don't want to say overdrove the entry, but just was right there, the dirty air and everything, Brian. It may be a mile track, but the speed you're carrying, you're still getting dirty air, right? So, right when Camary went to go burp it to lift to make it through the corner, is right when Bradford kind of was already committed in, like just.
So everybody comes down to pits.
Well, we were kind of in a pit cycle that was happening already, Brian, so that does not surprise me to see, everybody either bring it back down, top off their truck, or maybe go ahead and put, how many sets do you, 3? How many sets?
When they start the race, they had 3 sets, plus the one on the car. So now they should all have 2 sets left.
Okay.
4 sets
So,
total,
yeah,
but they count the one on the car plus 3 in the pits.
Right.
So
yes, like you talked about, they're really going to have to try to conserve or compromise in some aspect or another with the tire strategy here this evening. Like we're seeing, drivers coming in 48, 55 laps into a run, and the fuel mileage, you could go about 57 to 64 laps, right? But we just kind of witnessed that some drivers just can't.
Right. Now, Will, is this when we start to see cautions breed cautions, is the question.
Well, that's a great question, because I feel like we have some drivers that are either trapped a lap down, or maybe could have just got mired in the back, and they're trying to work their way up through the field. Anything could happen at Dover, like I was talking to the guys before we started. Dover is one of these tracks where it is a tough racing facility. It can be quite bumpy. You're always, like I said, you're always... Yes, Brandon Moore in the 3 truck, Mike Skinner. So... yes,
we'll watch these restarts and see if they can get it underway, which hopefully they can. They've been doing good. Some struggles on restarts, but we'll see how well that this goes, and hopefully they got it from here.
Yeah, hopefully. Like we talked about, restarts here at Dover can be so tricky, because trying to just not spin your tires coming up out of a corner exit here at turn number 4, that's exactly right where the restart zone pretty much is, right, Brian? So it's a treacherous restart zone to try not to have any wheel spin or slip a gear or throttle up too aggressively. That's basically, spinning your tires. But Troy leading them to the restart zone.
Very good restart by some.
So everybody's going to jockey for position here on this restart to try to get as many positions possible that they can before the tires start to go away, start to wear. Looking a little bit 3 wide here, maybe. Other drivers thinking better of it, but some still putting it in there. Word of the night is tricky, and you're seeing it here live in action. Oh, no. You just knew that was about to happen. You knew it was coming from a mile away. Oh, man. Well, that's going to be... Is that a caution or not?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, come on, iRacing. So it was definitely, like I kind of talked about, we had some drivers in the back trying to work their way to the front to maybe either get a lap back or just gain some position. And contact ensued, maybe net code, but contact was going to happen at some point regardless anyway. And just a whole lot of questionable stuff going on. But Tyler Myers trying to drive out of it, but like we said earlier with JP, what goes up must come down, and it goes down into the tire barriers, but unfortunately on iRacing, the tire barriers do not give, and those two trucks are going to be destroyed.
Yes, they are. Very unfortunate, Will. Hate to see
Killer
it.
impact.
3 wide kind of don't work too well here. I mean, it kind of does if you have the right people to do it, but it's very tight. Very tight.
If everybody has the right spatial awareness, I guess you could say, would probably be the right thing to say here for Dover. And if everybody that is involved in that 3 wide knows that they're 3 wide and they can all hold their line, that is the key things. You know, no, you don't want to hip check somebody. It's not hockey. So,
I mean, it could be, but we just don't know.
I don't see anybody with sticks and face mask out there, Bri.
Not yet. There's that wonderful Dover Downs Casino. Anyway, Jaden's up front. He found his way back to up there to get it. His kid's been on a good momentum swing.
Yeah, he's been on a great tear, winning a lot of the BNR races here as of late, whether it be in the truck or whether it's the Thursday or Saturday Cup Series. Shows a lot of potential, just has to harness the potential given to the talent.
Yep. That was a wild lick for Tyler Myers and the 72. So we'll see if they can regroup. Well, we see the 72 is out of the race. So
yes, indeed.
They're going to put it on the truck and haul it back. So
Hunter is out, and so is Stain in the 72. So the 30 and 72 are out. We have 24 more runners left in the race. J.D. O'Brien is 17 laps down currently, and we have a handful of trucks that are 1 lap down, but mainly because of the untimely caution that was happening with a pit cycle. So, some drivers choosing to come in, top off, maybe get some repair work done or something to that stature. So,
others are like, nah, I'm just going to stay out. You see Brandon Moore coming back down.
well, you asked if it could be a point of the race where Reed cautioned Brian, and it could be because we just saw back-to-back cautions here. So, could we see a third one?
I would say so. So we know these boys are capable to go long ways. So. Excuse me. So Jaden is going to lead the field back to green. Poor Ernest, ever so slightly trying to get his lap back. How Kamari went back a lap down.
Yeah, I thought he might be able to catch a lucky break and maybe get his lap back early on after the penalty serving, but And it doesn't look to be. He might just get trapped down the rest of the race if he can't find a way to get into that lucky dog position. Jaden, oh man. Troy now going to have a look, but he's not there, so Jaden's going to lead him through 3 and 4. Looking back further. Back, what is that, about 9th on back, 8th on back. Oh, that is Higgy, I do believe. No, it's not. Yes, it was. Now Caleb. That wasn't Caleb. That was Lane. Oh, Bradford and Campbell having a moment up here. Three wide again, but they somehow made it work.
Yes, they did. Hmm. 69 of 150 in the books.
Currently, Chris Cornett holds the lucky dog position to have the wave around for the first truck 1 lap down. Chris Camari's trying to chase after him. Sanchez, Daggett, and Pearson have a half a second gap over one another. Pearson might have tagged the wall. He lost a few tenths there, Brian, so he's going to be falling
Chris
off that.
Had a ugly,
Oh, yes, he did. He had to really catch that truck. Don't know how he caught it, but he caught it. But he's going to lose time off of Chris Cornett.
and he's got Ernest King right there behind him, who's also a lap down.
So real quick, while we might have time, let's talk about the front 15 drivers, 15 or so drivers that are in the BNR Truck Series point standings, starting off with the points leader of Troy Daggett. He's got 187 over Brandon Moore with 182. Ernest King is in third position with 180 points. Joe Stipe is in fourth with 171. Pete Woodrum is in fifth position, rounding out the top five in points with 159. Jason Pearson has 155 in sixth position. Jaden Sanchez has 143 in seventh position. Mark Berry, who is not here tonight, is in eighth position with 138 points. Christopher Campbell is in ninth position in points with 131. 10th position is Robert Amaral, rounding out the top 10 with 121 points. Chris Camary is in 11th position with 117 points. Behind him in 12th is J.D. O'Brien with 113 points. We have a tie for 14th position, so Jacob Carter and Justin Steves with 104 points. And Dion Johnson rounding out our 15th, or would you like to say 16 competitors. Dion is not here tonight either. He has 98 points in total. So that rounds out the top 15/16 competitors in the BNR Truck Series. We've had what looks like to be here 47 drivers start a race here this year, or this season, excuse me. So, good to see it.
Oh yeah.
Now, halfway, just over halfway now, after we get done talking about the top 15 in points, and this season in all three of the BNR Racing Series of BNR leagues of series, you have I guess it would still be considered series. It would just be series or anywho. We're not here to grammar. Anyway, what was I trying to say, Brian? So
I don't even know.
it is. There's no playoffs. That's what I was trying to say. There's no playoffs, so no eliminations. It's straight shot from the first race to the last race. The points you accumulate over the season is the points you hopefully have enough to win the championship with. Whether it be collecting the most laps led, winning, leading a lap, winning the race. However you can get the most points at the end of the day, hopefully tallies up enough throughout the season to be enough to be there at the end. So Troy Daggett hasn't really let Jaden go away. JP has lost a few positions since the last rundown, so JP has fallen down to 5th. William Roberts is in 3rd position, but being passed by Jason Higginbottom in the 44 machine in 3rd position. So that is the top 5 at the moment, even though I didn't really say it in order. Kelly is in 6th position. He's got a comfortable 6th position at the moment to Sammy Archibald in 7th position.
I tell you what, Will.
And Matthew.
Miles the Monster ain't too nice to a few of these drivers, that's for sure.
Oh, no, not at all. That is for sure.
He's been swallowing them up real quick.
There is a pretty good battle for, 13th on back, 13th, 14th, 15th, I do believe. No, 14th, 15th, 16th, something along those lines. So Joe Stipe is in the 14th position. He's got Christopher Campbell, George Rincon, and Aaron Bradford behind him. This little tussle going on. Tyler Myers got back out there, has a repaired vehicle, and he is back afoot.
Well, if you want, we can do our segment of the night if you would like. While they're
Yes, sir, we could.
While they're doing pretty good at the moment. For those of you watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, we're gonna do mine and Will's favorite section of the night and give you guys the crank it up section here. Let you guys listen to the sounds of these trucks around Miles the Munster, and here you go. And that will bring out the fourth caution of the night, Will. And Richard Harvey, yeah, this is iRacing, a whole new platform. Pretty realistic. It's also a good time. You're on your way up through the ranks, and to get up here with these boys and have some fun. But anyway, Will, as we were doing it, crank it up, we saw Andrew go around. So I want to go back and take a look at that and see what maybe had caused him to go around here, Will.
Yes, this platform that it's been probably an 18, 20-year-old engine. Yes, this is totally new, Brian. But yes, anyway, looking on board here, this is coming up out of turn number 2. Oh, man. So,
Like
just coming up out of... Yes, indeed. That's going to look like netcode to me, or some type of... I'm getting... Yeah, that's netcode. For sure, netcode.
Yeah, hopefully one day. That's very good. Oh, Bradford came in and said, "See you later, Joe."
Yeah, that's the same way with me, Richard. One day I will be on it too. But yeah, I think Bradford was trying to check up. Yes, indeed, he had his brakes locked up, and unfortunate, man. Just more and more, just pile in, or kind of they try to avoid it, but no pun intended to Brandon Moore or Austin. Whenever I was saying more and more, so just Bradford trying to go around it Days of Thunder style, just stay in it, Cole, and Joe was like, I'm going to check up a little bit. I think I need to check up, and maybe if he just didn't know where they were going, right? We talk about what goes up must come down, but the 47 had to go up to come down, and oh man, Bradford just put the binders on right as he was about to get by it. So, yeah, we had a nice little, might as well say 5 lap, crank it up, and then we came back, or right as we were getting back to coming back to the action, wreck occurred, so very unfortunate for all those involved in that. Netcode, I don't know if they would have touched or not. If that is for sure. I don't think they would have touched if Netcode would have not reared its ugly head, Brian, because they still had pretty decent gap away from one another.
Well, Jaden stays out.
Jaden stays out. Higgy stays out.
Yes, Hickey.
And Daggett and Pearson. Hopefully, Twitch is okay with me saying that. But at the moment, I do believe those 4 are the 4 that stay out under this caution. I could be wrong with JP, but I think I'm right. So I think there might have been a handful. Actually, I think Roberts, Kelly. I think the top 6 might have stayed out.
I think so. $96 to $150 in the books. They are ever so slightly closing in. Anyway, well, next week, Kansas. You know that one single lane groove on the outside. You know that as well as so we're going to see a lot of fighting going on up there. So
yeah, everybody's going to try to.
05.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, Clue, Camary, Robert Amaro, right as I was going to say the other two, they went away. Stang and Hunter, I should have known the other two. They were the first two to go. For an untimely exit, I should say. Cat, I'm going to send you to the moon.
Higgy did a little side tug there on Jaden.
Yep. Well, now that Jaden has really got to the command of this race, and he's kind of, JP up in the wall. Looking a little bit further back in the field. So, 52 laps remaining, Brian.
Yep, so this is 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. And 15th. Actually, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. All in the tussle here.
Iggy is still on the back of Jaden. Oh, we had a truck going to the inside retaining wall. Not sure.
That was Caleb, I think.
I think it was Ernie. I saw a green truck.
Well, then it was Ernie then. There you go. Higgy gets underneath and gets the pass on Jaden.
I think Higgy might have hip checked him in the center of 3 and 4. That camera might have been a bit deceiving. William Roberts sitting right there in 3rd place. Troy Daggett still in the top 5 and 4th. JP in 5th position. But it's still a tight tussle. We have 3-car battle at the moment. We have 5 under a blanket. Sorry if I'm sounding like Darth Vader at times, but everybody has respiratory problems at some point in their life. So,
I'm going to say overall this has been a very great race, Will. We haven't been disappointed. It's been very good, especially for Dover.
I mean, there's been some Dover races that was just downright horrible, and then there's been some that, like, for instance, this evening, it's just been pretty good so far. You know, we're not over yet, so anything is still liable to happen, but good battle for the lead between Jaden Sanchez and Jason Higginbottom. 38 and 44 respectfully. William Roberts closing in on the back of these two as these two are battling for the lead. But there's not really nowhere to go until they settle it out amongst themselves for that lead, or one of them makes a crucial mistake.
Like that, you see Jason going to the inside of Jaden, trying to keep it locked in, but Jaden gets that momentum off. Oh! That kind of looked like Jaden came across the nose again.
No. They both, I don't know how to call that one. Because...
Well, we'll go back and take a look here. That's all right, Will.
It looked like Jaden kind of skimmed the wall and got out of it. And right as he was getting out of it, he just Higgy kind of came up a little bit.
Looked like he was coming up to set the position as Jaden was getting ready to turn down. I don't know. That's a tough one to call there. I don't know that.
Can you hear me all right, Brian?
Yeah, I got you.
My mic doesn't sound bad or nothing?
No.
You promise?
Yes. But, like I said, I don't know. That's, to me, if I was calling that's a racing incident. They were getting ready to set their entry going into one. Is what that looks like. So, and that's what I'm going to stick by, but one can only hope that that's what it is. So that just looked like they were getting ready to position themselves going into
the corner.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to say, but I wanted to get another look for it. While we were looking at it, I fumbled my butterfingers and I bent the jack into my cord. I just bought a new cord again recently, and I already messed this one up. Can't blame the cat this time, I guess. Anyway.
Right, you sound quite peachy, sir.
I'm utterly just.
Well, you got Troy in the front.
I'm mad, and I did it to myself this time. Like I said, there wasn't a cat this time.
Well, you got Troy Daggett in the front, Hayla, Brandon Moore P2, with 40 laps to go. You got Samuel Archibald. You got Caleb Sellner. You got Justin Steves. You got Joe Stight. You got Lane, Roberts, Pearson, and Kelly. That is your top 10. So I want to say from 6th on back all have pitted.
Well, we're going to have 39 laps to go, 40 laps to go when we get the restart. 39 to go. And actually, no, they're not doubled up, so we're going to have about 38 to go, I do believe, when we get the restart. Ernest King is the only truck one lap down, so if we have a breeding caution incident here at the moment, Brian, we could see Ernie back on the lead lap. He's been, trying to get back there all race long.
Yes, he has, Will. He's been fighting every tooth and nail to get that lap back. So
I can't believe I did that to myself. I still can't. I just bought this cord. I just bought it.
You'll be all right, sir. You sound normal.
That's money.
So.
That's money wasted, though. Like, you should see it bent. Like, it's bent, Brian. But if you say I sound normal,
yeah.
Breathe. Let's breathe.
I don't hear any Darth Vader-ish.
Well, if you say it's fine, it's fine. I believe you.
Anyway,
it just makes me upset.
Yeah, you got Brandon Moore starting second, Will. This is the first time in a while Brandon has gotten to the front.
Yeah, now, Brandon has he was third earlier, but he wasn't really able to capitalize on it, I think mainly because he was restarting on the inside lane. Now that he's restarting on that outside lane up in the second position, Troy's not restarting in the outside lane. He picked the inside lane. So who's going to be able to not slip their tires? Who can get up through the gears? Outside momentum, Brandon Moore looks to have a little bit of it. but he kind of matched Daggett's restart. If you look at it, if you just go back and just rewatch that restart, you can see I will be right. So Archibald's still up here. He's trying to complete a race. He's trying to go from start to finish without either tripping over himself or getting involved in someone else's misfortune. He always has the speed, but completing it is always another thing, right? Brian, finishing the race is another thing. Here we see William Roberts back on the attack, going to the outside of Archie. Fierce battle for the top 4 spots, as further back you just see them scrambling pretty much, trying to get all that they can get here. Justin Steves in the 25. He is really coming alive here late in the going. I haven't talked much about Justin this race, but he's up here now, almost inside the top 5, but not quite. But he's having a good battle with Joe Stipe. He's got Jason Pearson behind him. Jaden Sanchez trying to make his way back up through the field. And whenever I dropped the tablet a while ago, it landed right on the headset cord. Like it hit right there, and it just bent it, man. And anyway.
You see there, Jaden getting caught up behind the slower traffic.
Yep, it's difficult to navigate, trying to get past other competitors once you're just a tad bit quicker here at Dover. Once you get put in the traffic, you just can't seem to get back by it. I bet you, when we talk to the podium drivers later in the evening, they're gonna say just how hard and excruciating it can be navigating the traffic, whether you're on the lead lap trying to navigate lap down traffic, Brian. So we talk about how difficult Dover can be just trying to run in the racing groove. Well, once you get up out of the groove, or just trying to let the leaders go by or faster competitors go by, it becomes even more of a handful.
Yes, sir, indeed.
So closing in on 25 laps to go, we have William Roberts now in the lead for the first time tonight, I do believe. Troy Daggett in second. Brandon Moore in third position. Sammy Archibald in fourth. He's fallen, I want to say, a position. And Kelly is down in fifth. What happened? Oh, okay, yeah, Roberts got up there and passed Daggett and Brandon. That's what happened. That's what did happen. I'm like, who? Anyway, so JD coming back down into the pits. He's 22 laps down, but hey, he's been able to at least gain some positions after some other drivers had some other misfortunes ahead of him, or around him, we should say. We still have tremendous battles all throughout the field.
Oh, yeah.
You have Kelly and Archibald going at it for fourth and fifth, as Brandon Moore trying to stay ahead of Archie. Back there, we just saw Campbell and Steves going at it for 12th and 13th positions. George Rincon slowly driving up on the back of them, though. So there's battles everywhere throughout the field. As Kelly's going to send it alongside Archibald and take that position away from Samuel.
Boy,
Now Kelly's going to look.
Roberts is gone.
Yeah, he is. He's checked out now. 25 laps to go. And if we don't have another caution, I don't think no one's going to be able to drive him back down. That's for sure. Definitely wasn't really seeing this because, like we talked about, no one, not no one, but Roberts hasn't been in the lead at all tonight, and now he gets in the lead, and like you say, Brian, he is checking out. He's trying to find a whole nother area code to be a part of.
Yeah. You see Sanchez trying to get to the back of Kelly there, as Brandon's ever so slightly losing spots, being on the outside lane there. But I think Brandon's saving. I really think he is. And he's going to push when need to push. The problem is,
probably about another 4.
Don't want to lose too many spots. That's the problem.
Yes, that is the problem. Because you don't want to have to gain all those positions back that you lost. Now goes Kelly looking to the inside of position number 2 of Troy Daggett. Troy's really going to have to fend him off now. Maybe going to have to try to find a stick. But, man, Kelly gets a real good center to exit drive off of both ends of the track, Brian. He's been hiding that, I feel like, all night long. Or maybe he could have just found it not too long ago, but especially from the exit of from the center of turns 1 and 2, he gets a real good exit. Dover is another one of those tracks that it's not exactly symmetrical, so it may look like it is, but it's not really.
You see there, Jaden now pops into the 3rd position, but almost a 5-second lead by this gentleman right here of Will Roberts. So, also run by him, regain back everything with being about mid-pack majority of the race to getting up towards the front. So, 19 laps to go here. Once again, Will JP, top 5 truck.
Yes, again, I call him Mr. Top 5 or Mr. Consistent, because he's always in or about the top 5. So, Matthew Hunsaker, though, right behind him, knocking on the top 5 door, but don't know if he'll be able to do anything to get by Pearson and them.
Yep. You see, Matthew did got by Brandon Moore. With 17 laps to go.
Yeah, 17 laps to go, and Roberts is out to a 4-second lead over Kelly.
There he is. I think that's some fresh tires. Fresh tires mean a lot here for Dover.
Oh, yes, they most certainly do. Justin Steves looks like he's getting by Pete Woodrum for, I believe that was 12th position.
Yep.
Archibald's fallen all the way down to 11th place now. At least, hopefully he'll be able to finish. That's what counts, trying to log all the laps in a race. Just because you're fast for a handful of laps doesn't mean you're always going to finish.
No.
Kelly gotten into second position. He's trying to take some time out of Robert's lead, but does he have enough time?
I don't know. It's gonna be close, that's for sure. A good run by JP every week. You see now Brandon looking to get back to the inside of the sixth wheel of Matthew Huntsaker.
Yeah, I think Roberts' lead is pretty secure. Kelly drove a 10th off of it, but couldn't really do any more than that. 12, about to be, 11 laps to go here, so Chris Cornett in the top 10. Roberts, Kelly, Sanchez, that's the top 3. Daggett, Pearson, Moore, that's the top 6. Hunsaker, Rincon, Selner, Cornett rounds out the top 10. With 10 laps to go. So we have 6 trucks out of this race, if I counted correctly. Ernest King still has yet to ever get back on the lead lap from having that penalty to serve in the early days of this race. So we could have 7 trucks out on this one setting in the pits.
I think so. Other 6.
10-4. So
here comes Brandon now starting to
try to do something like you say with that tire.
Caution. Of Anthony Lane. Not too sure what happened here. We'll take a look. Look like a coming together with Bradford will. As an innocent bystander of that 55 machine.
Now it looks like
It looked like it might have hit the wall, or Bradford just. Oh, that was in that code.
this is definitely what nobody wanted to see.
Oh, it did.
Tough break. Yeah, net code again. Tuesdays just sometimes seems to be the net code night, don't it?
Yep. So from second all the way back had pitted. This is going to be interesting. We're going to watch the race off the pits. See Brandon Moore, Jaden, 48 to 99, the 82, the 29, the 6, the 199, and the 88. It's your top 11, then Sammy, then Justin, then Joe, then Pete, then Christopher Campbell. Boy, I have to use the restroom real quick while we're pacing.
I guess we just might fall into the green-white checkered territory with this caution. This being our 6th caution of the evening, and we have 3 green-white checkered attempts, so we could get to 7 cautions. We are, like I said, working our 6th caution of the evening. Welcome back, Brian.
Thank you, which isn't bad for Dover.
Oh, no, not at all. Like I said, we probably should have seen it. Do what?
I said, I know you said that sarcastically.
Well, I mean, we probably could have had 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
There is a couple of things we probably could have had a caution for that didn't, but that is iRacing sometimes.
But, well, now do we... I think this might be the first attempt at a GWC, I'm not sure.
It is.
Well, the fresh tires are 2nd all the way to 17th. As Ernie got his lap backs, now he is on the lead lap. So this is going to be interesting. The 40 has control of the field. Jaden, you better get closer.
So, first green-white checkered attempt of asking for the evening.
There it is.
Williams spins his tires.
There it is. Mr. Caution.
So, we do have our 7th caution of the evening, probably because of the stack up on the bottom line. Have to wait and see what the replay is. I believe it could be from the stack up.
Oof. It shuffled that whole bottom lane. Oof.
There you go. You just see the chain reaction of happening from what happened from the bottom lane. Robert's not getting the greatest of great restarts. Instead, just slipping the tires on the restart. No one wants to do that, and you don't want to do it at all, ever. Do we have these pit takers? Yes, indeed. Brandon Moore pitting. William Roberts is pitting. So Kelly staying out. Pearson staying out. Caleb Sellner staying out.
This is going to be interesting. Just as we said that we were okay. Nope.
Well, Justin, if you're listening to us live, he predicted 7 cautions, and by golly, we got them, Brian. So blame Justin.
You see, Tyler gets his lap back, so I think he will be on the lead lap. That is what I'm saying with these restarts.
No, he'll be one.
Oh, that's right.
He was 2.
Okay, so he got his first one.
Ernest finally got his lap back last time.
So Jaden's starting 4th. Jason Pearson's going to be starting 2nd. Look at that. Good job, JP.
Now, the question is, are we going to use up all 3 attempts at a green-white checkered here this evening in the BNR Truck Series at Dover?
Christopher Campbell in the top 10. A good run for him. Oh, it's not over yet, so we're not going to say nothing. But overall, Will, the green flag runs were awesome. We've had quite a few of them. Unfortunately not green flag pit stops quite. Almost for a few of them, which happens. It's Dover and you know, that's just the nature of the beast. So.
Yes, indeed it is. Dover's very tricky to get on and off pit road anyways, so I'm surprised that the drivers that did make a green flag action pit stop earlier in the race was actually able to do so without any incident. So
who do you think your top 3 is going to be? I know, that's a whole bunch of gambling.
Yeah, that is. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't feel like anybody in the top 3 is going to be in the top 3. I could be wrong, but I mean, we just saw the race leader spin his tires on the restart, and he's no longer the race leader. So, like I said, it's Dover. Anything is possible. Anything can happen. Yes, indeed. Getting lined up, getting ready to finish working our 7th and hopefully final caution of the evening. 2nd green-white checkered attempt, so we are well over our scheduled race distance this evening, probably about 160 plus miles this evening. So.
Anyway, Will, the 48 will lead this field back to the green. To his outside will be Jason Pearson. Behind him will be the 199 of Caleb. And then to Caleb's outside is the young gun of Jaden Sanchez.
And Troy Daggett is in 5th position, rounding out the top 5 on this restart. Justin Steeves, as high as he's been all day, I do believe, up there in 6th position. Christopher Campbell in 7th. Restart, rolling to the restart zone, and the green flag is out probably now. Jason almost spun his tires, possibly on that outside lane, just didn't get a get up and go. Almost match, but not quite, Brian. So, who's going to be, coming down the back straightaway. They are all over the place. Kelly's just trying to get to the stripe before a caution comes out, and it looks like they're going to. One more lap of asking, Brian, here at Dover. JP fighting fiercely with Caleb Sellner. Jason, oh man, they're going at it back here in the war still. They're just trying to keep it straight and bring it off the corner, but Kelly in the 48 looks like he's going to bring it home with the checkered flag. Elner and Pearson, though, they're going to have a photo finish, I think, for second, Brian. Pearson got Selner by a splitter. We're going to have to go back and look. Yes, indeed we are. Coming off of the turn number 4, coming to the stripe, start, finish. And look at this battle. Look at this battle. 4 trucks over a blanket. And
Oof.
look at this. Just look at it. Man, JP, like I said, by a splitter. He gets him by a splitter. Maybe a bumper, but my goodness. And it was just as close for 4th and 5th as it was for 2nd and 3rd. But Kelly, in the 48, takes the victory here this evening, here at Dover Downs. And we will get the rest of the podium finishers here in the booth in just a moment. Can't wait to see what next week in stores at Kansas Motor Speedway. Like we talked about, that 1.5 miles, everybody's mainly going to be up against the wall. Race results, Michael Kelly brings it home in P1 overall race winner. Jason Pearson noses out Caleb Selner for the 2nd position. Troy Daggett noses out Jaden Sanchez for 4th. Jaden gets 5th. That rounds out the top 5. Chris Cornett, Pete Woodrum, Matthew Hunsaker. This is kind of unofficial from that melee that we kind of saw going into turn 4. Justin Steebs brings it home with the top 10 in 9th position. George Rincon, 10th. He brings it home with a top 10. Just outside the top 10, Christopher Campbell. In 11th, Joe Stipe. Aaron Bradford. Ernest King, able to get back on the lead lap, but he was having troubles. He got caught up in the last lap melee. And, that was the lead lap finishers. Tyler Myers, Brandon Moore, I think, got caught up in the last lap skirmish. Anthony Lane, William Roberts, 17th and 18th, and we had a few more.
Yep. Sammy Archibald 19th, Joshua Highball in 20th, J.D. O'Brien 21st, Jason Higginbotham 22nd, Andrew Clue 23rd, Chris Camary 24th, Robert Amaral 25th, Chris Stang 26th, and Ron Hunter 27th. So we'll go ahead and straggle up these guys here. Now we'll bring up Caleb. Mr. Kebab.
Hello.
Well, not too bad for your first time at Dover, huh?
No, I've owned this track for a while. I've never done any official races here. Done a couple AI, but that's it.
What a wild race,
it was
huh?
pretty. Yeah, wacky wild racers out there tonight, Caleb.
Yeah, I got lucky with the 40 car on before that green white checkered because he bunched up everybody and gave me that chance to really be in the spot that I should have, or really helped me out. And thanks for JP for not running through me there on the green white checkered. I cleared myself a couple times, so thanks for not driving through me.
I like that. It says 99 was taken.
Yeah, I put a little 1, or I tried to put a little 1 on my car.
That's funny. Anyway,
the quacks.
Next week.
Quack, yeah.
Yeah, next week, Kansas. Like you said, you haven't really raced here at Dover too much or at all, really. You said no officials, and this was kind of like your first Dover race. But you've raced at Kansas before, right?
Honestly, no. I really haven't really
Oh
done
my
anything
goodness.
on the NASCAR side. I'm much more of a road course racer,
Dirt,
and I just
dirt
rode
and road
dirt.
course, yeah.
And I just happened to just be at the right time at the right place. With finishing.
Yeah, you seem to be kind of struggling for about the first half of the race. Tell us what you were struggling with, Caleb.
Tire wear, honestly. Because I was trying to tire save a little bit, and I just wasn't tire saving good enough, and it just didn't work out in my odds there for that first tire run.
Um, were you expecting the cautions to fall this way, or maybe fall a bit sooner, like than what they did, or what were you thinking, Caleb?
Honestly, I was expecting a lot more cautions, because what did we have today? 4?
No, we had 7.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yep,
Alright.
you can thank Justin for it.
Yeah. I mean,
I know it
I
felt
didn't.
like that it was forever, and it didn't feel like you had 7 because you guys end up having that pretty average run throughout the majority of the night.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We had a good, like 50 lap runs. 2 of them. So yeah. Plus, I know we had the one that broke up the fuel runs, and then the one at the start, and the 2 at the end. So yeah, I was honestly expecting more cautions. Especially near the end of the race. I had an extra tire set that I probably should have used instead of staying out there for the third to last caution. I think it was. I should have taken tires there, but because I was just expecting more cautions, to be honest.
Well,
Me
next
too.
week in the truck series, D-shaped mile and a half Kansas Motor Speedway. You said you haven't really raced at all or too much at Kansas, but what's the expectations or the hopes going into Kansas if you're here next week?
If I'm here next week, probably just doing what I did here. Just trying to tire save. Not get involved in stuff, and hopefully being there at the end for a good push.
FYI, outside groove. I can't.
All right.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Plus, I have no experience with that track. I've done maybe 4 or 5 AI races there.
That kind
With
of.
like the Gen 6 car. That's
Yeah,
all I've done there.
I think that deserves a.
Yeah.
Well, Caleb, any final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to add about tonight's race before we let you go celebrate this unbelievable podium finish here?
Yeah, I'm just severely lucky to finish, where I did. I hate to see it for the 40 car and everybody that was behind him, like Brandon, who got a penalty. I hate to see it for them, but, it really helped me out with getting third.
What was Brandon's penalty?
he probably passed
Drive
the
through, I
leader.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, he passed the
Well,
leader
Yeah.
Ben.
40 car on that.
on that restart.
Oh, no!
So yeah, that's why he came down to pit, is he had to serve a penalty.
Oh, man!
Very unfortunate that happened, but
Yes.
it got me where I am. So, I
Well,
hate
the
to see
racing
it,
gods
but
are just on your side tonight.
yeah, like I said,
And he
That's
was
one way to look
iffy.
at it.
He was very iffy coming indoors. Like, you know what? I don't want to, but if Brian allows me, then
I was
do this.
too. Yeah. I was just in here running an SRX race with Tyler at Sobo, and they offered, so. I just hope I didn't screw anybody else's race up with points or anything.
Oh, no, don't ever worry about it like that. If you want to race, like always, like more the merrier. That's how me and Brian always look at it, and everybody's fighting everybody. Like if that's how that's how it is in the real world. Like
Yeah.
so.
But yeah, for my thanks, I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting, running the league, my dad for getting me into the league, Shandy's music down in Canton. Always go check them out if you have the chance. If you're ever in Central Illinois and you're a big music fan, go down there. You'll have a great time. Super nice people running there. I think that's about it.
All right, Mr. Selner. It was awesome to have you here. You put a hell of a show on towards the end there. I was like, he's kind of caught in a pickle, so hopefully, no, the leader don't spin its tires on him.
I don't think a pickle really. I think a pickle's an underestimation with when I didn't pit that one time.
Well, you had a very good a good race, I would say. For
I would say so too. Yeah.
you rebounded. A lot of 3Y going on with you. They end up putting you in the sucker hole quite a few times, but
I'm about to say I feel bad, with that one time. The 2 lap car fighting for 19th and 20th, Ernest King, and then somebody else that I don't remember the name of. But I unfortunately got moved up into him, 3 wide, and he quit right afterwards. But I'd like to apologize to him. I
don't remember who that was.
I just got sent 3 wide, and I was in the middle.
Yeah, very aggressive on this side. You know that already.
Yep, especially with the trucks. I've heard the horror stories.
Yes. Anyway, buddy, awesome job on the P3. We'll let you go take a breather, because I'm sure you were gripping that wheel pretty tight. So
yeah, right there at that last green white checkered, I definitely was.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. But awesome job on the P3. We'll get you back up there, and we'll talk to you in a bit.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Next up, JP. The big dog himself.
Oh.
P3, sir. I mean P2, sorry.
Yes, sir. P2.
By a nose. By a nose.
Yep. I barely squeezed that one out.
What a wild run tonight, shall we say? Yeah,
it was definitely fun, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot better than most overs, shall we say?
Oh yeah.
You guys end up getting between those 50-lap runs and between a couple of cautions here and there. How was your truck overall handling wise? How was it finessing through the traffic, or what was maybe the tricky part of tonight's race?
It's definitely seemed like if you drove it in real deep, drove it hard for the first 5-10 laps, it kind of fell off pretty quick. But if you kind of conserve on some fresh tires, especially on the restarts, and it seemed like it really didn't want to come in on handling wise till lap 10, 15. It started really rotating a lot more, and you could really pull that outside line. You didn't really have no problems making any passes.
All right. Would you say the most difficult part of the night was maybe the restarts?
Yeah, I'd say a bit of restart. I think a few people there kind of stayed out on the old tires on one of the restarts and ended up spinning his tires and caused a mayhem on the inside line there. But you'll have it. People won't take chances, man. I mean, that's what risk is all about, I guess.
Oh yeah, especially at the Monster Mile here tonight. Miles the Monster did eat up a lot of trucks. Unfortunately, 6 of them end up putting it on their haulers and going back to the Carolinas. So next week, if you're here, I know you're here every week. But what is the momentum you're going to take from here going into Kansas?
Well, that's I believe my first podium. So I mean,
Yes, sir.
I got a lot of momentum I'm carrying throughout the week here. We're at Kansas next week. I'm always done good there. Yeah, I've been riding the momentum wave since probably week 2, week 3. I just keep getting these top 5s, man. That's what my goal is before these races even start. And I mean, I don't care where I start at the beginning of the race. I don't care where I'm at lap 20 or anything like that. Just lap 30, 40 laps to go is when I try to usually put it in gear, get it where I want to be. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and I
sir.
think that's what's been saving me week in, week out.
Yes, sir. You've been consecutively in the top 5 every race from race 2 all the way
Yeah,
to
yeah.
race 7. This is race 7 here. So, awesome job on P2. Any final shots? Yeah, shots. I always do that. Any final thoughts, shout outs, anything you want to give me before we get you back up there?
Good racing by everybody up front. There's a lot of respect going on there. You can definitely tell between drivers. Definitely some good racing going on. Had a lot of fun tonight. Shout out Big Dogs Gaming, Tyler, my teammate, pushing through. On to Kansas. Big Dogs. Oof, oof, oof.
That's right. Alright, sir. I'll get you back up there. And awesome job on the P2 again. Carry this momentum into Kansas and maybe iRacing Super Speedway on Thursday. So,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
best of luck to you, sir.
Yeah, y'all have a great night.
You
Appreciate
too.
it.
No problem. Alright, well, the final honors for you of Mr. Michael Kelly here as we wrangle him up here. One of the newcomers to the league, Will, of Michael Kelly, his first ever BNR win here in the trucks, especially at Dover, which can be very tricky, Will. So, Will, the blah, 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 the floor is yours.
Well, Michael, congratulations first and foremost on the win here tonight, and just pretty much you you really was able to get out there in the clean air and take the lead away. You drove away. You had a what was it like a 4 or 5 second lead, wasn't it? And then we had a late race caution, and I believe that was you, right? No, that was
That
Roberts.
that was
You drove up. Yeah, my bad. I got my 40s mixed up between the 40 and the 48. But anyway, you did drive up to what was it? The third position. There you go. It was either third or second. You drove up to after conserving your tires a little bit after that one. After the one of the cautions we had there towards the end of the race, it was about 20. What was it? 25 or so to go. You drove up there into the podium positions, but then the caution came out late in the race, and then Roberts spun his tires, not me, the other Roberts, and and then that truly, if you would have thought, the late race caution turning the race up on its head, just Roberts, not being able to get up and go, that truly turned the race up on its head, Michael. So, just tell us how you did it, man. Like, what were you having to struggle with besides trying to conserve the tire here tonight? And what was it like in traffic as well?
traffic. It was pretty tight, but overall I was just not as quick as those other guys on fresh rubber. I could conserve and started figuring out how to do that, and I burned them up on the first run and kind of learned my lesson. I didn't really come off of the bottom very much unless I was going around slower traffic, and kind of learned my lesson there and was able to reel them in on a long run. But I just kind of bided my time, and a little bit of luck also kind of helps out too. I almost gave it away going into turn one, but I gained, when it was all said and done, 4 spots coming down or 3 spots coming down the front stretch right there, with the 40 spinning his tires, Jaden getting bottled up behind him, and Brandon unfortunately got the black flag on that restart. But it just kind of fell into our laps tonight, and I'm super excited. I mean, it's only my third race in this league, and I was looking for something to run, and I got introduced to this by John Tiller over at Fueled Up, and those guys have been really, really good to me, and I appreciate them a lot. I feel silly for not running the Fueled Up truck tonight. I know they're gonna give me a little bit of crap for that, but man, I'm just super happy I was able to represent them tonight.
Yes, indeed. They have a smashing team. No matter what series they're competing in or what track, what have you. They're an outstanding group of guys, I'd have to say, Michael. So good to be able to align yourself or have some good teammates, like you say, Michael. So next week is Kansas. If you're here next week for Kansas, that kind of tricky D-shaped mile and a half in and of itself. What's always the battle plan or like the goals going into Kansas for you, Michael?
Haven't run a lot of laps at Kansas before. I've run some laps there in the Cup car. I know you really got to be around the top there, and I'd imagine it's going to be more of the same, probably more tire saving, running around the bottom too. You're going to have your fast guys up there on the short run, and your guys who are just saving your stuff are just going to kind of let them go on by. So I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I'd imagine it's going to be more of the same there, but I'm looking forward to it, and I plan on being there.
Well, any final thoughts or shout outs or anything else, Michael, you'd like to add about tonight's race before we let you go celebrate this win?
Well, obviously, you guys for broadcasting this and allowing me to join the league. I appreciate that a lot. And like I said, everybody at Fueled Up, Jason, John, Chris, Nate Line, my buddy Andrew running in this league with me, Andrew Clue. He was running some test laps with me last night, trying to dial it in a little bit here, and I was thinking it was going to be a really rough showing for us tonight. But man, I'm very, very excited we were able to do this tonight.
Well, hopefully you can carry this momentum forward, this win forward to Kansas and just keep, racking up the good finishes, and everything. Hopefully you can collect some more points, crack yourself inside the top 10, and, just keep able to be showing up, be consistent. You're having some good runs since, like you said, John and Nathan got you in over here, so hopefully we can see you maybe in a cup car, perhaps, Michael.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. For right now, I'm comfortable in the truck and trying to get my feet under me there, and you never know what the future holds. Never say never, right?
Exactly. So, best of luck to you next week at Kansas. Thanks for talking to us tonight there, Michael, and congratulations on the win here tonight as well.
Appreciate you guys.
No problem, buddy. Whew. Anyway, well, that will come to an end of our broadcast here. Once again, awesome race. Never the doubt. A great group of guys here. They were able to get two long flag runs in, which is great, especially for Dover, because we know Miles likes to eat up every cars or trucks, whatever it may be that comes to this track. So, yeah, my thoughts are awesome race, great group of guys. We know what they're capable of on Tuesdays with the fields that we have. Just an awesome run by them all here tonight. So, I guess we'll get your thoughts there, sir.
Yes, I'd have to agree as well, Brian. It was a pretty intriguing, entertaining, and awesome race indeed. And Kansas, Kansas always normally provides some great racing as well. So next week's probably going to be another barn burner like this week's race at Dover was. So can't wait to be here next week, Brian.
Yes, sir. Well, anyway, from myself, Brian Hunt, to Will Roberts, we would like to thank you guys for coming out tonight. Share it on your favorite BNR drivers in the Truck Series. Tuning in on the Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, wherever you're watching from. Help us out. Give us a like, follow, share, tell the people come on out, watch the streams. That we try to bring you the best commentary that we possibly can. We're not pros at it by far means. But I'd like to thank you for coming out, cheering on your drivers, and checking us out. So, from us, we want to say thank you, and